like to speak to you today about something very important. There's something going on before our very eyes and no one seems to notice it. Just in 2016, we learn of the following chilling statistics. About 90,000 Christians were killed for their faith. Every 6 minutes, a Christian is killed somewhere in the world. 63,000 Christians died in tribal conflicts just in Africa. Most refused to take up arms for reasons of conscience sake. 27,000 died in terrorist attacks. The destruction of Christian villages, government persecution in nations including North Korea. More than 500 million Christians cannot freely profess their faith in the world today. Christians are now in the most persecuted religious group in the whole world. What is happening? Why don't you hear about these things? Let me share with you something. Christians have been persecuted throughout history, from the conception of the early Christian church until this current day. As early as 34 AD, we read in the book of Acts chapter 7 about a man by the name of Stephen who was stoned to death because of sharing his faith under questioning. After this, a mass persecution began in the Christian church. People were dragged out of their homes and imprisoned. As Christianity spread abroad, so did the persecution. Under the Roman governor Diocletian, there was a severe persecution of the early church that lasted 10 years. People were tortured to death and put before wild animals to be torn apart. It was in this stage of history that a man by the name of Polycarp, who was a very influential person, was brought before the Roman rulers and asked if he was a Christian or not. He said that he was. They asked him to recant his belief and acknowledge Caesar as God, or he would be put to the flames. His response was, "For 86 years I have served my Lord and King Jesus Christ, and he has done me no wrong. How can I deny him now?" From his statement of belief, they demanded that he be executed by fire. As the flames burnt around him, they were amazed that he was not hurt by the flames. But this miracle was not enough for them, and they made the decision to sword him to death. And this they did. In 325 AD, Rome merged the Christian faith as a religion of the state. But did this stop the persecution? Unfortunately, it didn't. And throughout the Dark Ages, the true believers who held on to the Word of God as the only word of faith were tortured, imprisoned, and put to death. People such as the Vaudois in France, the Waldenses in the northern Italy, the Huguenots in Spain, and other people who obtained the scriptures, which was deemed the property of the state, these people were continually persecuted. In the Mohammedan reign, as Islam was being formed and continued to spread, Christians were persecuted here as well, and we still see this happening fiercely today in the Middle East. This has been a problem that has happened from the beginning until this very day. I want to share something with you. We can't expect for these things not to happen, believe it or not, because Jesus said these very words. He said, "If they have persecuted me, they will persecute you. A servant is not greater than his master." If you think about it, the man Jesus, as he walked the earth, he did no wrong. He did no evil. He healed the blind. He cured the sick. He made the lame walk. He even resurrected people from the dead. He spoke words of faith to them, words of encouragement. And yet the people of his era thought it was appropriate to put him on the cross. My friends, why did these things happen? We are looking at what we know as the great controversy between God and Satan. Satan wants to destroy every last trace of Christianity on this earth. Why? Because it is the way of salvation. As Jesus says in John 14 verse 6, "I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. He has the keys to eternal life. My friends, choose Jesus and you choose life. Matthew 16:25 says this, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. As you pray through this year, may God bless you as you connect to him, and may you really understand the true value of life.